The gap between how much men and women make in professional sports is a huge divide. This pay gap is very significant and has caused extreme controversy throughout the world. Each league and sports organization has its own structure of compensation and benefits. But while the level of pay varies from sport to sport, every professional sport shows a common reality. Female athletes consistently make less than men. When we talk of gender inequality in sport, we tend to focus on the gender pay gap. In most sports, women earn significantly less than their male counterparts, even though professional athletes, regardless of their gender, put in the same amount of work. Discussions about equal pay are present in many sports, starting with football, going through ski jumping, and finishing with darts. Have you ever wondered why is it so? Historically, participation in sports has been discriminatory, with men being favored over women, as sport has been considered to be an inappropriate field for women. Can you imagine that women were not allowed to participate in long-distance running events until the 1980s? Even though women's participation has grown over the years, underlying gender biases are still present in many aspects of sport. Most sports were never designed for women. They were designed to fit the physical abilities of men. The men are by nature often faster, stronger, and taller. Sport is designed to support a system in which whoever is more skilled will be the winner. If women play against men, they lose. Do you remember the tennis battle between Williams' sister and Kirsten Brash, ranked outside the world's top 200? One argument is then men earn more since they are simply better. The other argument that typically follows is because they generate less money, female athletes should be paid less as well. If you look at TV coverage, interest, ticket sales and other market indicators, most men's sports will outperform women's sports. On average and across sport, that's a statistical fact. Specifically, revenues from the sale of broadcasting rights and sponsorship deals are higher in male sports because they are considered more prestigious and more people watch it. The market argument is the most readily used by male players and tournament directors when it comes to not rewarding women gender equal pay. The weak representation of women in sports governance structures is also a cause of the persistence of the pay gap in the sports industry. Female representation in some governance structures has improved, but this has only happened recently. Further, most of the governing bodies still need a stronger push to enhance female membership. Reportedly, the most prominent gender pay gap exists in football. The average yearly salary of male footballer who plays for a top league club in the UK is £2,800,000 Great Britain pounds, whereas the equivalent for a female footballer playing in the Women's Super League is 30,000 Great Britain pound. The difference is about 93 times. Even after the Lionesses won the Women's Euros in 2022, female footballers still earn a fraction of that earned by their male counterparts. To further emphasize the point, Lioness Lee Williamson earned an annual salary of £200,000 Great Britain pound in the season 21-22, whereas Harry Kane earns that sum in a week. The pay disparity in professional football exists at an international level as well. In 2023, the teams in the FIFA Women's World Cup shared a $110 million prize pool, equal to about a quarter of the men's prize pool for the 2022 World Cup. The problem of a gender pay gap is well seen and still unsolved in professional sports in the US. Every year since the Women's National Basketball Association's inaugural season in 1997, the highest paid women's basketball player has earned less than the lowest paid National Basketball Association player. The starkest gap remains at the very top. Golden State Warriors player Stephen Curry was on track to make more than $50 million in salary alone during the 93-94 season. In the same year, Jackie Young, the highest paid WNBA player, was eligible for a base salary of $250,000. a difference of almost 200 times. While compensation for women has improved over the past decade, the gap still extends to even the world's highest paid players. While the pay disparity didn't change, there is one aspect of the Forbes top 10 list that did. In 2022, the top 10 highest paid women were all tennis players, whereas a decade ago, the list included women in NASCAR, ice skating and golf. Tennis has made moves to increase equal pay between their male and female players, and today all 4 major tennis tournaments offer equal prize money. Women's tennis is one of the sports that was most successful in breaking the glass ceiling for the women's side. At the 4 biggest tournaments, the Grand Slams, women and men are rewarded equal prize money since 2007. They did 4 things to accomplish this significant reduction of the gender pay gap. First, connect to the broader sociological discourse. Billie Jean King was a key figure to support the societal value of more gender diversity in tennis. Second, create their own women's tennis association where they could create their own female competitions, their own logo, image and rules of the game. They have different rules on court and off court. Third, market women's tennis as being the same sport, but a different category. Women's tennis thus managed to build their own version of the sport, which alleviated the pressures of repeated direct comparisons to the men's competition. Fourth, establish and support female role models, the heroes of the sport that become the face of women's tennis and continue to push for more gender equality. Agnieszka Radwańska, Iga Świątek and many others are very well positioned to maintain the fight for equality. Applying similar solutions to other sports would certainly help reduce pre-existing wage gap. Furthermore, governing bodies should take notice and look to address the pay gaps that exist in their sport by working with their male and female athletes. In January 2023, the Football Association of Wales reached an agreement with the Welsh national men's and women's football teams, guaranteeing that both teams will receive equal pay for future international matches up until the FIFA World Cup in 2026 and the FIFA Women's World Cup in 2027. In order to achieve this agreement, the men's team has agreed to take a 25% pay cut. Is it possible in other sports? Don't hesitate to send your comments. Don't forget to subscribe our Sport 3 channel. See you soon!